All right, lads. Welcome to the second episode of all. Wait, what's it called again?
No
No
knowledge,
knowledge,
all
all
opinions.
Yeah, sorry. No knowledge, all opinions. Where me, George Tabbi, editor Ben, we go at it. How are you lot doing, boys?
I'm doing
I'm doing
good, lad.
amazing today.
You're both doing good, very well. And today we are actually going to rank some of the top 10 Premier League midfielders. Some we're going to absolutely rip into. Some we're going to praise. Some, I don't know.
Way.
Agree with.
Right, so let's get into the first player. So in first we do have Granit Xhaka. Now I'm gonna go first if that's all right with you lads. Now
Yep, go on then.
he is actually very, very, very good. George was I believe I was actually praising him in the Attackers podcast last, I think that was 2 weeks ago maybe, and he is actually fourth in the Premier League for assists outside of the box. He's basically a perfect deep lying playmaker, someone who can sit back and, make long balls across the top. He is actually in the top 96th percentile for key passes. I just think he's improved so much since those middle finger days. What are you lot thinking?
I think that he is really achieving for the season. He's
Okay.
got the same amount of goals this year than he has in his last 3 seasons put together, which to me it doesn't prove that he's a good player. It proves that he's really just overachieving for this one season.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it really suits the system though. I think Arteta, he has changed the system a little bit. I think he's becoming it more quick paced and
How
alongside
long do you see him being around at the club still? Like at that age, he has to eventually retire.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said, how long do you see him being at the club? Because at that age, at some point, he needs to retire. So I don't think he'll be there.
Xhaka?
Yeah,
He don't need to retire.
he's like
Uh,
32, isn't
He's 32.
he? Yeah, that's
I
old.
think he's got at least till 35, I just
I
think
don't think so.
when
Ben, what
the
about
thing
you?
is right. The thing
Ben?
is, with Partey next to him, Tabby, he is just a different player. He's allowed to sort of roam free, have this free role, and just he can sit back, join the attack, do whatever he wants. And I feel like when Arsenal have like a proper CDM who they can rely on, Xhaka can just do his own thing and it works perfectly. And what are you saying?
But what about Ben? What's Ben saying?
He's solid, lad.
That's it.
That's all I need to say.
That's all you need to say.
That's
All
all
right,
I've
so
got to
what are we rating him? I'm going to start off. I'm actually going to say a. By the way, guys, before we do the ratings, 10 is prime Messi and 0 is prime Tabby. So I'm gonna say a 6, seeing as this has really been his only really good season, I'd say. What are you lot saying?
Ben?
I'll go for a 7.
7.
7.
I'm going 4.
4. Oh,
That's
damn.
horrible.
Jesus, all right.
He has been in the.
So overrated, and he's really overachieving.
How is he overrated? He has
Because
been.
he's not
He's
good.
the top
He's not
3
good.
centre.
He's not good.
I guess we should
He's a top
balance
3
out a
midfielder in the Premier
5.5
League.
then, right?
All right, we'll go 5.5, but I feel like that's a little bit mean, seeing as
I don't
he's easily in the top 3 midfielders this season. Easily. Don't laugh. That's facts.
That is not.
That's absolute facts.
Casemiro,
Where do you think he is?
Casemiro, Rice, and you can put Partey in there.
Don't even put Rice.
But I have.
You know what, I'm gonna end this debate because you were just.
Rice is insane.
Do you see the
Obviously.
West Ham fan bias?
Huh?
There's
no bias. He is. He's being being linked with like teams like Arsenal and that. He's sick.
Because he's English. Let me
No,
just
it doesn't matter because he's English. He's shown how good his talent is. I'll tell you later when we come to Declan Rice. I'll show you how good he is, man.
I think once you hear what I say when we go into Rice, you lot aren't gonna like that. So
you also see what I say when I get to Rice as well. You're an absolute grip if you think you're one of the best CDMs in the world.
Shush. On to the second player.
All right, come.
Into what? George, it's always you, George. I always try talk about the next player, and this guy always interrupts me. It's poor from you, Tabby.
Shut up, man.
Oh.
But what I was gonna say was we've got Bernardo Silva. I actually did rate him last season. I think him alongside Cancelo were very, very good. But and again, I thought he was going to leave to Barcelona this summer. And he did not like that they didn't get him. He became quiet, and he used to be one of those players where you can put him on 70th minute. He'll completely change the game. He'll change the tempo. He might even get a winner for C. Here, he comes on, he doesn't change the game, he's extremely quiet, and actually, City midfielders, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, Mahrez, and Grealish all have better statistical performances. Yes, I'm not waffling out my arse, I've actually checked.
I think I actually agree with most of what you've said. I feel like after each season he's had at Man City, I feel like he's just slowly de-progressing, which is actually quite shocking because I see him quite good talent, and I feel like he would really thrive with a signing to like Spain.
Mm-hmm. I reckon he needs to go to a. I do think he needs to go to a Barcelona. If not, I don't even know. Maybe taking a step down to someone like
Real Betis, something like that. I think he would work really well with Naby Fekir.
Yeah. That actually is really true. I reckon Bernardo Silva on the right for Real Betis and Fekir in the middle.
Even Real Sociedad. With Oyarzabal and people like that. I think it would work as well.
And what are you thinking, Ed Span?
Yeah, been a bit quiet this season.
Barry's a third person, man.
He's just an NPC, isn't he?
Shut up.
He's actually
Give us something, Ben. Give us something about Bernardo Silva. I want to hear something.
He's solid. I mean, it's my favorite word. Okay, he's like not good, but he's not bad. He's been
just
good.
Tell us your opinions on him. Do you think he's a good player? Do you think he's not? Why?
Well, I have. He's all right.
And why is he all right?
You think he's just bang average?
Yeah, I guess.
Jesus Christ, Ben. You amaze me, mate. You absolutely amaze me.
Next.
But wait, we got to rate him first.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm actually gonna say because I feel like, you know, Tabby, when you highlighted out that you actually think he's a really good talent, I think he is. He can be one of the best midfielders in the world. I genuinely believe that, if not one of the best wingers in the world. And I think him just as a player is so good. We can't rate him under a 6. I think I've got to say a 7, just because I believe that if he gets a move, he would absolutely flourish. I think he'd do much better than he is doing in a hard to get in City team. I'm just gonna say.
I think it's the first time I've agreed with you in a while because I'm also
that is, yeah.
Because I just feel that he has so much promise, even though he hasn't been doing too well for the last couple of seasons. And I feel he would absolutely thrive playing with someone else, just like a couple people that actually fit the system he should be playing in. Whereas instead of just having a whole team full of like star-studded players, it would work great well with a team that has a couple of players and he could shine.
Yep.
I'm gonna go for a 7.5. You know, for past season that he's been good, but for right now he's dead. So overall, I'm gonna say a 7.5.
I think because majority vote, we're gonna give him a 7. I do actually respect the 7.5 because you do have to look back at, even though he hasn't been the star of the City team, you got to look at what they won. They're winning the title this year. If not, United are. Arsenal have bottled it, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alpha.
Dead team.
He's getting a 7. He should actually move to Arsenal. I reckon that'd be alright. But 7, that's it.
Right. I don't be amazing.
Actually, not the third player, because we've got a question for drumroll, please.
For me, right? What's the question?
Not bad. Okay. So thank you, Link Does Football, for this question. A very massive friend on the channel, big supporter. He's gonna ask you, what Premier League player needs a position change and why? Give me it, Ben. Show us why he deserves to be on the podcast.
That is an easy one. Thank you. Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I actually completely agree.
Yes, perfect.
What,
And
what
why do you
position are you
think?
changing him to?
He can't defend. He needs to go somewhere like right mid or centre mid, something like that. He's
I think
as his passing's, his passing's insane. He can't defend for anything.
yes.
He makes good crosses and whatnot. I feel like he should be somewhere in that right midfield area.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think he would be an amazing right midfielder because
He-
the crossing capabilities from him is actually really good. It's just his defending that lets him down a bit.
I would actually say I wouldn't say right midfielder. I'd say centre midfield because I believe Liverpool they play a free centre midfield system. I believe if Fabinho is in that system, so they have someone to sit back and defend. I think that Trent could really flourish in the right centre mid fielder role. I think he could be that free role.
But
And
then
I
he's not going to get
agree
any.
with-
He's not going to get any use out of his crossing, like which I would say is his
His
highest
his
attribute.
crossing's the same as passing.
thing is, if he plays from deep, I believe that his dribbling's actually right. So maybe a couple cheeky dribbles a game. And I think if he plays from deep, does a bit what maybe Xhaka has been doing, makes long balls over the top from a deep area, I think he could really flourish at that. But anyway, on to the... How many players have we done?
Two.
Three.
No, this is third.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
no,
third.
yeah. On to our third. Sorry, lads. Now we've got a absolute rubbish player. He's only in here because Bentancur is out for the season, and that is Højbjerg. I'm gonna start off.
Oh God.
I mean, what an introduction from Macca Football. I mean, he must love this introduction. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. I dislike him. I believe he is in the top 10 for loss of possession in his own half, where he is for the whole game. And Spurs, they just it's really weird, Spurs, because they seem to win all the games where they are being dominated, and they seem allergic to dominating games. And do you know where that stems from? It doesn't stem from Bentancur because he's been absolutely superb this season, one of my
No.
favorite
Oh,
midfielders.
oh, oh.
It stems 110%. All of the blame is on Højbjerg because he cannot control from deep, and he cannot take the ball from defense and give it to the attack. He can't do
I
a
will.
simple midfielder job.
I mean, I say this a lot on this podcast so far. I've said this a lot, but I'm being completely. He is literally the most NPC player ever. He's so bang average. He's like. He can't say anything about him. You don't notice him in the game. He's just bang average.
Yeah, he
He's
is. No, I 100% agree.
He's just there.
I completely
Yeah.
disagree with both of you.
What? How?
I think Højbjerg is one of the best CDMs in the league, and I feel like he
No.
holds
Oh,
Tottenham from
no.
midfield
Don't take
perfectly.
What?
The
So
whole
you're
team's
putting
midfield
him up there
perfectly.
with Declan Rice?
And no, I'm not putting him up with Declan Rice, but I'm putting him up there. He was bought for 15 million, and I believe he could be a better CDM than someone like Rodri. Yeah,
Like,
even as
that
a midfielder, is so much better than Bentancur. I don't know what you're on. Bentancur
George.
is so bad.
George, what are you on?
Oh,
Højbjerg is
please.
nowhere near the level of Rodri. Rodri has the most passes in the Premier League. Højbjerg doesn't even break the top 50. I have no clue what you're on about. And
Højbjerg is one of the best
you know
CDMs.
what? You know what? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to. I'm not even gonna take your vote, George. We're not even gonna listen to George's vote.
Don't
'cause
take my vote.
I can't take his vote.
that
You
is
can't take his
so
vote.
stupid.
Give his vote.
We can't. No, I'm gonna take your vote. All right, so I'm saying, I'm saying because the thing is, right, I get that he was a good player at Southampton, but I feel like he was good for 4 months. I don't.
He's
rate
been
him for Southampton.
amazing.
I did not rate him for Southampton.
You
So I'm
ask
gonna
any
give
Tottenham
him
fan, he's been amazing.
I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 10. What are you giving him?
I was going to give him a 4.5 out of 10 because he doesn't stand out. I mean, he's a Tottenham player overall. He's just bang average. He's so he's just there. He's like an NPC. He's like me on this podcast.
Yeah,
I'd give him a 6.
George, what are you giving him? Oh yeah, 6. All right, so
That equates to about 5.
yeah, okay, that's a 5 out of 10. On to the next player. Right, next we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Declan Rice. This is going to be the most
Rice,
annoying
baby.
player for me to talk about because if you don't know, Editor Ben, West Ham fan, Tabbi, West Ham fan, so it's going to be completely biased. don't believe anything they say.
Goat.
George has asked
I
me.
back up all of
George
my
has asked me to
facts
start.
with stats.
Go
I
on
back
then.
up all my facts with stats.
Light
Yeah?
enough.
I'm going first because I know this man to a T. So recently, I've read that Kieran Trippier, the right back for Newcastle United, said Declan Rice is better than Casemiro and Partey. So I did some digging and found out that Rice has more passes completed than both of the players. He also has a higher pass accuracy than both of the players. He has more passes forward than both of them, more touches than both of them, which means he's more involved in the game, more crosses and more interceptions, and tackle clearances, head clearances than Partey, and less fouls committed by both of them. And if that doesn't convince you that he's a better player than both of them, then I don't. The stats prove it. So I don't know what you're arguing. The stats prove he's a better player. There's my argument.
Oh, okay, right. I'm actually going to give you a lot of credit for those stats because I did not know that. And it does make me sort of regret for hating on him, but you're going to have to put up with what I'm going to say. I believe that he is a quality all-round midfielder, but I think you have to agree. You might just think it's a little bit of an amount, and I'll take that. I'll take that if you think it's a little bit of an amount, even. But he's extremely overrated. whether
Shut
it's
up.
English
Shut up.
or bias. I'm just saying he's extremely
Nah.
overrated.
Shut
By the
up.
way, listen.
Listen to me.
All
Listen to me.
of those stats I've taken is from Declan Rice's worst year at West Ham United, compared to
What?
Partey's best year at Arsenal and Casemiro's best year at Man United. That's what you need to know. It's his worst year, and he's still better than both of them.
Wait, George, just listen to me, yeah? Just listen to me. I believe that Rice is not a. This is not a bad thing. I'm just saying. I personally believe. This ain't an argument. I personally believe that Rice is not a. Is not a run of the mill CDM. I actually think he's a little bit more than that. I think he's
He's
a
a lot more
centre
than that.
I believe that. Do you guys agree? You guys watch West Ham. Do you think he's more of a centre mid or more than a defensive midfielder? Be honest.
I think he can be a little bit more attacking, but I do see him as a very good CDM.
Yeah, he's very defensive.
Okay.
Have you seen him in games?
Well, I've actually watched West Ham a lot, and I believe Rice is a centre midfielder. And listen to me, right? I need my centre midfielders to be playmaking quality. He doesn't break the top 50 playmaking wise in the Premier League. He's nowhere near the standard of Casemiro, Rodri, and Partey.
Well, that's because he plays more defensive, and David Moyes doesn't
name.
allow him to attack as much.
I guess. I mean, Ben, what are you saying?
You made me sad, mate.
What was that noise?
You made me sad. Nah. Sorry, I've got a bit of cough in my throat. I can't think talk.
Really?
Yeah. He is the GOAT CDM, mate. And I love him to bits. I really do.
What do you guys give him a 10 out of 10?
Oh,
I'm gonna rank him. I'm gonna George. You can start off, seeing as you started the debate.
okay.
What are you giving him?
I feel like he's a better player than Bernardo Silva, so I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10.
Can I go?
Oh, okay. Yep.
I think honestly he could very easily get into some like big six clubs in the summer. I'm talking your Arsenals, your Cities, your Man United. Sort of he's such a good player all round, and I think it would be very sad if he was to go to Chelsea. If he goes to Chelsea,
It would waste his talent.
I'm happy if he goes to any other club, like top Premier League club, other than Chelsea. Because when he's been at Chelsea, I think it'd be sad for him if he'd have to go to like a club that got rid of him when he was young.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that.
What are you rating him out of 10?
I'm gonna go for my highest score yet, 9.
All right.
Do you know that I said 10 was prime Messi?
Yeah, he's a 9.
Do you think he's one rating of prime Messi?
Yeah.
All right then. All right. So
Alright, fine. 8.5. 8.5.
That wasn't bias. 8.5. Did you say?
8.5. 8.5. I'll change it.
All right. Well, I actually will say, I do like Rice. I just knew this was coming, and I knew that someone was going to say he's better than the likes of Casemiro, Rodri, Partey. So I had to create an argument because I just simply don't agree. It's just my.
But my
opinion.
argument's just stronger.
But anyway, I will say though, I really do want him as at United, not as a backup or a replacement for Casemiro. I actually want him to take over Eriksen's role. Eriksen has actually proven to be a very good player, but he can't play against the clubs like Arsenal just because of obviously what happened recently with his heart. He just fitness wise, he just isn't there. So I feel like we need a player to compete with him like Rice, and I believe him next to Casemiro could really get the best out of Bruno, and they could be such a great partnership. But I don't think he's as good as you lot are saying. Nowhere near. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 due to
Oh
the
my
fact he
days.
actually has been
Shut
playing for
up.
longer than people think.
You're
6 out of 10.
saying he's the same as Granit Xhaka.
Yes, we're giving him a
Then
7.
you are on
I
some
don't know.
major drugs.
Granit Xhaka is miles better.
What did George give
Oh,
him?
what?
Granit Xhaka is miles better.
What did George give him?
I've just proven that he's better than Partey and Casemiro. You're saying that means you're telling me Granit Xhaka is better than Casemiro and Partey?
What? No, I'm saying that I think not all better than Rice.
So then why has Rice got all the best stats?
Because stats don't make anything. What
They
is the
do.
name of this podcast?
It doesn't matter.
Knowledge, all opinions, mate.
The
I'm
factual
saying
knowledge is that he's a better player. The facts prove he's a better player.
George. Just shush, mate. On to the next player. Lads, we actually do have a question before we get into the next player. Fernandez. Drum roll, please. Who is this question for? Big Tabby.
Thank you.
All right, so
What's my question, lads?
Link does football again. He put in a bunch of questions. Get involved, lads. It's on Spotify. You can put in questions on Spotify and in the comments of this YouTube video. Who is the most overrated player in the Premier League and why?
In my personal opinion, and I hope that people agree with me, I believe Gabriel Jesus is one of the most overrated players in the Premier League at the moment. I feel like for a striker, he needs to be getting goals, and he just isn't doing that even before he was injured. And it just, to me, it proves that he isn't that player that's going to get Arsenal a title. And I feel like they would need a better striker for them to do that.
I totally agree. I actually think, this is weird, but he reminds me a little bit. The Arsenal fans are treating him like he's a little bit how Liverpool fans are treating Nunes. They're saying, "Oh, but he adds so much to the team tactically, and he does this and that. Goals don't matter for him." It just shush. I'm pretty sure there was a run. I'm pretty sure before he got injured, there was a run where he hadn't scored for Arsenal in the last 9 starts. That's not good enough.
If you're a
People are
striker,
chatting about Martial, but
you're not
people are
scoring.
chatting about Martial. I think he's scored like what 3 or 4 goals in 6 starts. He's had. I think he's. I don't know if he scored more goals than Gabriel Jesus, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just being honest. But yeah, thank you for question. Link does football. On to the next player. Right, so we have Fernandez, and I'm going to start off seeing as I'm a United fan, because the Premier League hate us and all the cup competitions hate us. I actually watch them like 3 times a week. I don't know how United get away from with playing three games a week for the last years. But anyway, that's a different topic. I will say he is lucky to have a proper defensive midfielder behind him. I know I've seen really, really crap Fernandez, but I've seen very, very good Fernandez. He does make risky passes and very risky dribbles, but that's just the type of player he is. And I believe with Casemiro behind him, this season, he has been world class. But just hear me out, please. Hear me out. In the Premier League, he has the most chances created in open play, more than Odegaard. Arsenal fans, shh. He's second for key passes, third for chance creation, and fourth for passes into the final third. That is exactly what you ask for in an attacking midfield. And with Casemiro, who is defensively locking down the team, we don't need him to track back. He is perfect. His work rate as well, fantastic. I don't have a stat for that, but his work rate is phenomenal. What do you mean?
I just disagree.
Oh, come on. What
Uh,
are you going to say?
Huh?
What are you saying then?
Okay, so from a cam, you expect any form of goal contributions, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so he's played 14 games this season, yeah?
Mhm.
I mean, in his first season for Man United, when he came on January, he played 14 games and got 15 goal contributions in the Premier League. Compared to this season, where he's played 22 games and only got 14 goal contributions. He's got less, and This is the I've looked at all the seasons. This is the worst amount of goal contributions he's had, and it just proves that he is kind of just falling off a bit over the past couple of seasons. I just don't see him progressing. He kind of just stays stagnant, in my opinion.
I'm gonna have to cut you off there, mate, because I'm sorry, and I don't want to start a debate. As a United fan, I did listen to you for Rice, although I massively disagreed. I did listen to you and I said you have fair play for the stats and that, and I even want it for United. So please listen to me, Fernandez. I do get what you're saying, but I know that you're not watching United consistently like I do. You have a perfect answer for why he doesn't get as much goal contributions. When he was at United, do you want to know the players he was playing alongside? Pereira, Lingard, Crap Martial. He was playing alongside Phil Jones, even Rojo, them type of players. He was the saviour. He was easily, it wasn't even a competition. He was about 6-7 times better than the second best player at Manchester United. Now he has world-class players around him. You cannot say Casemiro is not world-class. You cannot say Rashford right now is world-class. He has great players. So now he's got just a built-in role, and that role is to create chances. It's not to get goals. But anyway, what are we going to give him? What are we going to give him? Editor Ben, you can start, seeing as you haven't really said anything.
I think Bruno Fernandes he was quite good in the World Cup. I think he's an all-round good player. I like him. I'm gonna give him a solid 7 because I like him. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give him a 7 just because I feel like he's around the same area as Bernardo Silva.
Yeah. He's good, but he's very yeah.
I think career right. I think for Manchester United, he's been a better player than Bernardo Silva has for City, but I do agree that they're around about on the same level as talent wise. I'm just gonna give you know what? I'm gonna try be my non-biased self as I usually try to be. Although in the City video, check that out, guys. I was very biased. I'm gonna be giving him a 7.5 just because I believe towards the end of last season and the season before that, he wasn't at his best self, and I think he needs a little bit more consistency. So yeah, can we give him a 7.5? Can you guys do that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you very much. On to the next player. On to KDB. One player that a lot of people seem to think he's world class or even a great player. Yes, mate. He hasn't been his best self since late 2019, and I actually think you guys have to agree. Without Haaland or Foden, I actually think he would struggle in this City team.
I disagree.
Tell me why.
Because even before Haaland and Foden, every season he was consistently getting above 20 goal contributions, which is perfectly what he's meant to be doing. He may not be getting the goals, he's getting consistently 15 to 17 assists each season. From that alone, he is one of the. I would say he's probably the best talent in the world right now.
Look at the team he's playing. If bloody Big Tabby was in that team, he'd be getting around 15 assists a season.
Even at Wolfsburg, he was still really good for Wolfsburg in Germany. And they had no good players. He was still getting the assists they need.
No, I have to disagree. They had Perisic, mate.
Perisic, one player.
Ben, what are you saying?
I think Kevin De Bruyne, he's he's very good. He helps out with players like Haaland, the forwards. He actually scored yesterday, and I believe he got an assist as well. He was man of the match. He's also very good for his free kicks, just in that one against Leicester this season. He's an all-round.
That was for Arsenal, by the way. That was for Arsenal.
Yeah, that was for Arsenal. He's been an all-round quality player, and I think he helped out a lot yesterday. And I think, are we rating him?
No, let me just say before.
Yeah, okay.
I get what you're saying. I believe consistency-wise, that I'm going to give him a good rating for consistency. But 2020-21 season, crap. 21-22 season, okay. 22-23 season so far, okay. I'm not saying he's overrated. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's overrated. I think you have to agree. Although yes, he's a decent player. I just feel like gets on my nerves a little bit because even when like Fernandes was very, very good, people were picking like in Fernandez's first season, people were still picking like Kevin De Bruyne when he was like injured for half of the season in the team of the year because it's Kevin De Bruyne simply because of his name, not because of the form, and that just really annoys me. So I'm gonna give him a 8 out of 10. I'd be giving him a 9 if he was actually very, very good, but I'm just giving him an 8.
I want to go next. I get what you mean about the overrated thing. I do think he's a bit overrated, but I don't think he's as overrated as you're putting out. I guess I think he's very good, and I do think people overrate him. I think I'm gonna go with a solid 8.5.
Okay.
I don't think he's very overrated. I feel like he's consistent every year with his 20 goal contributions. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10.
Right, so fine, that's an 8.5 out of 10. I can live with that. I'm just simply putting it out there. People do not pick Kevin De Bruyne for these awards and for these team of the years because he has been good that year. They pick him simply just because he's that household name. Like, I'm just sorry, but that's simply true. But I'll accept an 8.5.
Can I go to the toilet real quick?
Yeah, okay.
Yes, Tabby, you can go to the toilet. All right. Well, after Tabby comes to the toilet, we're gonna go on to a question for someone, which we'll save for the drum roll, I guess. Right, lads, let's have the drum roll for the 3rd out of 4 question.
Oh,
3rd out of 4 question is for Maka.
way.
Way.
I've got a question. Thank you very much, Azim. Quality question, my favorite of the day. Who would be a better sumo wrestler, Ben or Tabby? I'm gonna do a deep analysis. Obviously,
my
you guys don't
God.
know what they look like.
All right.
I think we all know. I think we all know the answer. Editor Man, I feel
Me.
like last year he could have stand a challenge, but he's been on a gym journey, and I feel like Tabby, he's just sitting in his room eating
Oh my
Weetabix, playing
God.
Overwatch. You're probably gonna win, mate. So
Nah,
well
I
done,
thought to be
Tabby.
fair, to be fair to George, he's very strong. I'll give him that. I feel like
Yeah,
a lot of people are
strong.
stronger than me.
I
I
think he
think
beat you.
George, if even in a fist fight, I think George could beat me.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, so that's my answer. Tabby wins. Well done, Tabby. All right, next player, lads. Right, so we have one that I think we're all going to agree on. I think editor Ben might disagree with me and George, but I know me and George are 100% going to agree. One of few times we agree. And it is Partey. Arsenal fans are going to hate what I'm going to say, but
Yes.
simply shut up about Partey. He's not in the conversation or with Rodri, Casemiro. I mean, I think not even Fabinho. I'd say when Fabinho like gets back to his full fitness, I think Partey doesn't even stand a chance against a player like him. Oh, has he won a Champions League? No. Has he won a league title? No. I mean, don't say soon because
You're not.
we're not gonna win. And I have been saying this for years. People on the channel, please back me. I have been saying, what does Arteta do? I was even saying, the Premier League predictions. What does Arteta do? He drops point. When Arsenal fans get all hyped up, they get all upbeat, and they think, oh, we're gonna do something this season. What happens? They end up going on a run where they lose 5 in a row. He is the most inconsistent and most
Last season.
manager in the Premier League by a mile. Not gonna win anything, bro.
Oh, what happened last season? Well, we're going to finish 3rd. We're going to finish 3rd. They finished 5th.
Top 4. Oh yeah. Ben, what are you saying?
Thomas Partey's having a party.
Knew it. Knew it.
He's just a bit dead, isn't he? Like he's crap overall. I know I agree with you a lot on this podcast, but I genuinely do think he's just a bit crap, and he's very overrated by the Arsenal fans.
I think I got another stat for you. He's got 7 goal contributions in 3 seasons for Arsenal. Højbjerg alone has 7 this season. That's all you really need to know. It's just that he's really overachieving for his first season ever.
To be fair though,
Like, ever since he's been at Arsenal, he's just not been good.
I will say though, I will say, Partey when he came, not a lot of people know, but I actually looked into this. Partey when he came, the reason why he was getting injured left, right, and centre was because he was on a very intense workout plan. He was on a very intense fitness plan. That's why he was getting all the injuries. They stopped that plan. They did something a little bit more lighter. He stopped getting injuries, and he has sort of settled in the role. I think CDM wise, he is very good. I just believe that he is not as good as people are saying. And
He's nowhere near the levels that people are saying.
so are we having a strike here? Are we having a
Yep.
strike? Are we all agreeing on the same thing?
Yep. For the
Yep.
first time, we can all agree Partey.
Hey!
Stop.
Come on,
Whey!
lad. So I'm gonna start off. Just you guys tell me if you agree. I reckon you're all gonna agree on this. I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10 just because of what he did for Atletico.
I'm basing this strictly off Arsenal, and I'm going to give him like a 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him I'm gonna meet right in the middle, 5.5.
Okay, so we're doing 5.5. I guess that is
Yeah.
fair.
I think
because
we've had an
it's
opinion
in the
hat
title.
trick.
Yeah, I mean, opinion hat trick, that's quality. So 5.5, it is in the title, Premier League, so I guess that's fair. On to the next player, that is Pride and Joy. Casemiro.
Whey!
I always do that little kiss in the video, that's so weird. Alright, so Casemiro. I'm going to tell you one stat, because this stat, I believe, defines the exact player he is. Have you guys heard about people talking, like commentators or whatever, talking about the difference that United have when the Brazilian is out? Have you guys heard about that sort of
No.
stuff?
No, I haven't either.
Okay, good. Because I'm going to enlighten you. It is absolutely shocking this season. Stats of us without Casemiro than with Casemiro. Can you guess how many goals we concede more per 90 without Casemiro?
2.
You got that bang on, mate. Yeah, we can.
Whoa.
When Casemiro does not play, we concede 2 more goals. That's very bad. It's showing that we rely on him so, like, United are doing so well, but we still rely on him so much, and
It's
just
that good for him, bro.
how great he is. Was
Is
the
that really
biggest
good?
mistake. This was the biggest mistake that Real Madrid have made, letting him go before since they've let Ronaldo go. I genuinely think he completes the midfield so much. He is such a beautiful player to watch, and I reckon it's. If it weren't for the red cards, would be probably statistically, if it weren't for missing games, he would statistically be the best centre midfielder, the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League. But unfortunately, he's not, because of the amount of games he's played, which has been not that many.
I completely agree, and also just looking at his goal contributions, that he has 3 this year alone, which is actually the highest he's had in his whole career so far. And I feel like that just kind of shows that age doesn't really matter, and especially if we're doing it in the best league in the world. And I feel like he has got a couple of years left in him, but all I have to say is that I think you're relying on him a bit too much, because if he gets injured, then your form just drops astronomically.
Yeah.
And I feel like you need to find
Okay.
a good backup.
I hope, Tabby, I hope you mean age don't matter in the football way, just the football way.
Uh,
Oh, I'm joking. Is there anything you want to say, or do you want to start off the ratings?
Ben?
I'll start off the ratings. I think he's very impactful for teams like Man United.
Very.
He changes the game up overall, and I think there's a lot of players who just can't do that. So I'm gonna give Casemiro. Ooh, I'm gonna give him the same as what I gave Rice, 8.5.
Okay.
I'm going to give him an 8.5 because I feel like Rice is just a little bit better this season. You going to talk, Noah?
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to process that. You think Rice has been better than Casemiro?
Yeah, I've literally proven it by showing you the stats.
All right. Well, we're not going to get into that, but I think because we do have Premier League in the name, I'm gonna keep an 8. I'm gonna say an 8.5 as well. But I think if you were taking an account for what he's done for Real Madrid, the Champions League he's won 4 Champions Leagues. I think I've got to give him a 9, but 8.5. We'll agree on that, all right, lads?
Yeah.
So now we have another question, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm sick and tired of the drum roll. So yeah, we're not doing that. It's for me, big surprise. And I have got, what Premier League player needs a loan and why? Again, thank you, Link Does Football. Please get involved. Put stuff in the chat. You can put stuff in the comments. You can put stuff in the Spotify comments. You're able to do that. Please get involved and subscribe.
And the poll on Spotify as well. You can rate. Once we get our top 4, you can rate which one you think is your best as well.
Ben puts polls. So get involved.
Get
with
involved.
Them.
You might get featured. You know, your question might get featured. Your name might be featured in the
Get
No
a shout
Knowledge
out, Big Macca.
All Opinions
No.
podcast.
What is better than having editor Ben, Macca Football, and Tabby say your name? That is just
Exactly.
a creme de la
Exactly.
creme.
Nothing else compares.
I'm going to say that I believe Pulisic needs a loan. And this is a little bit more orthodox. I think most people would expect me to say someone younger, but he's only had 1 goal this season. And I don't think I even need stats. I seriously have not seen him play. I have not seen him play this season.
You actually have a really
Like,
good point
that's
there. And I watch a
fine.
lot of Chelsea because my family are Chelsea fans. Yeah, no, he doesn't
Like
play that much.
I really, really like him. He needs a loan. But anyway, on to someone who I believe does not lead a loan. Elliot.
Wait! This is one of my goals.
Editor Ben is actually doing a career mode on him. And he bloody loves him.
He's honestly one of my favourite players. I can't even lie. For some reason, there's just something about him.
What? You start, Ben. Why not?
He's just quality all around. He's lovely. He's a playmaker. He does a lot for Liverpool when he's on, and I feel like at the age of 20, I feel like he's got such a big future ahead of him, and I feel like he's going to be so good one day. Yeah,
I disagree, but yeah,
he's him and maybe Fabio Carvalho as well. They're going to be really good for Liverpool in the future, and I think they're what's going to keep them, up.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is an orthodox inclusion. It's a bit of a weird inclusion because you'd expect someone maybe like Thiago or Fabinho or even Henderson, but I genuinely believe that he has been their best midfielder. So why not put him in? I think he has been their best midfielder of recent, and I think it's an easy decision. Which is, I mean, it is. Of course, I got a smile on my face when I'm saying this, but it is embarrassing for Liverpool, isn't it? It is embarrassing having a 20-year-old being your best midfielder.
Yeah.
And I actually think he will 100% be a top Premier League midfielder when he's older. And I think, there is an argument that he already is. I think let's
well,
go on to the rate.
I haven't spoken. I think he's a bit overrated.
Yeah.
Go on.
I feel like he will from more of attacking role in the midfield. He's got 2 goal contributions in 1,100 minutes, and I feel like at the age of 20, he's around the same age as Bukayo Saka, and he's just not comparing. And I feel like I'm not saying he can't be a very good player. I'm just saying right now he's not amazing, but I feel like in the future he can grow quite much.
You have to think though, George, those 2 goal contributions that actually came in the last 2 weeks, I believe. And I think you've got to look at the team he's in. Like, I don't know. I think he's doing way better than a 20-year-old should be doing in that Liverpool side. They are just absolutely getting dominated. They are getting ripped to pieces every single match, and it's not good enough. Also, Liverpool fans, do not get hyped by that Merseyside win. You always beat Everton. You always beat Everton. So, I mean, that's just a one-off. You're probably going to lose the next game. But
and it's like Sean Dyche's second game in it?
Yeah. I mean, what are we rating him? I'm going to say, I mean, Ben, I will say that me and you do have to look at the age and how long he's actually been playing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I'm going to give him a 4.5. I'm going to be real. Or a 5.
4.
Actually, you know what? 5. 5.
I mean, I think that I would right now I'd give him such a high score, but because he hasn't been playing too long, I can't go overboard and I have to stay realistic. And I feel like he's got such good potential, and in the future he could be up there. He could be like an 8 or a 9 in the future. But right now, but because he hasn't had, he hasn't been there for long. He hasn't proven himself that much, but he has been very good right now. So I'm gonna give him a 6.5.
Okay.
I'm
I
going to
think
give him a 4.5 because I feel like he still has a lot more to prove to England and himself, really.
Okay, can we give him a 5 then?
Yes,
Yeah.
and may I add, he would like
Also,
slot into
can I
that
just
England side as well. Yeah, go on.
Not right now. I don't think he would. Not
can
right
I
now.
just say? Can I just say you cannot give him a 6.5.
Why?
Give Xhaka a 6. Give Bernardo
Did I
Silva
know?
0.5 more. We gave bloody Fernandez 0.5
Did
more.
I?
I don't know about that, but anyway, we've got the rating. He is a what 5.5?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
All right, 5.5. There we go. Decent. Well done, Harvey Elliott. So we have got the last player. Hey.
Oi!
But it is Enzo Fernandez, and I'm going to start off if I may, yes. He started well in a most weird, uncomfortable Chelsea team. I've called him quote uncomfortable. I don't know how that makes sense, but yeah, there we go. He is one player. Actually, sorry, I read that wrong. He is Mac is fumbling. He is the only player in the list to win a World Cup, and you've got to keep that in mind, seeing as he also won best young player of the tournament. I think he's a very good player. Actually, I did say last episode, check it out because it's not gonna ever get old. We ranked the top 10 attackers, and I said that I actually hate the transfer of Enzo Fernandez. I stick by that because of the money spent, but I believe the player actually has suited Chelsea, and I believe he's going to be one of those players alongside Kante that really thrive once he gets back.
I agree. I feel like Enzo Fernandez. I don't know a lot of stats about him, but I found out that he's now the youngest player for Argentina history to score in a World Cup, and I feel like him as a player, he'll grow really quickly for Chelsea, and he'll show his talent quite apparently really quickly.
What are you saying?
Me?
Ben,
Oh, I'm saying right. I don't. No. All right. Okay. Right. I'm just gonna go out on a whim and say this. I don't like him. I've watched him once or twice, and he's just been the most. He's just been. People are going, oh, he's this, he's that. He's just the most crap basic player.
Oh,
that's just the wrong opinion.
not.
That is just the
He's
wrong
nowhere near crap. He got the best. He changed Argentina's squad. They started off so bad. Lost to Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
Whatever.
You know,
They changed their CDM. They put him in. He played. They fried.
he was good
What
for
can
the
you say?
World
He's not
Cup. I'll give him that.
I
But for
do,
Chelsea,
but I do think
I think when I
think-
watched him the other day, he was just going. He doesn't do anything. Like, oh, let me have a look at this.
I
But,
blame the fact
for
that
the World Cup, by the way, I feel like Jude Bellingham deserved to be playing in the tournament. I think he was amazing for that World Cup, by the way.
all right. Cheers for that, Tabby.
I know I'm just
He
saying, I
was
think
just
he would.
okay. Let's have a look at
Right,
this.
mate.
So, tackles 1 out of 3. Ground duels 3 out of 8. Sorry. He's just the most. He's just for Chelsea. He's been just there. Okay, and sure he got an assist that game.
No, I
He's
I
just
get
been-
what you're saying, but you know in that Fulham game, his debut, right?
Yes.
A lot of the Chelsea fans were liking him. They were taking a liking to it. I didn't really understand it. I thought he had a 6 out of 10 performance. But then I realised you're playing him next to Gallagher in a 2-man midfield. He can't go and do his own thing because then there's only one man in the middle. And when you're playing next to players like Gallagher, who is bloody hell, my AirPod fell out. Just it makes no sense for me. That's just my vote.
I feel like he's class, and I feel like he will grow. But right now, it will take him a bit of time to get to the peak that he needs to be at.
I said this in the last video when we was talking about his transfer, and I stand by it. I said he was going to be just another Chelsea flop, and I can easily see that happening. I think it's already happening already. I think he was good for the World Cup, but he's just not as good as the Chelsea fans are saying he is.
Well, they're all biased, aren't they? But what are we rating them? I'm going to start off, and I'm actually going to say, be fair though, Ben, I do see what you're on about. Like, thinking about it, he's been good for about 2
Anyone's
months.
better
Like,
than
I didn't even know
Fernandes.
his name before the
Partey's
Saudi Arabia
better
game.
than Fernandez.
But I'm gonna say a 5 for now. Actually, no, that's harsh. I'm gonna say a 5.5 for now. George, what are you saying?
I think he's a better player than Granit Xhaka. I'm giving it a 6.5.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Better
Okay.
than Granit Xhaka.
So what are you saying, Ben?
I'm going quite low here because I'd say he's better than anyone. He's better than anyone on this list. Wait, no, he's worse than anyone on this list. Sorry. Let me.
What, Granit
Oh,
Xhaka?
Yeah, he's worse than Granit Xhaka.
That's a lie. Well, okay.
He's
Come on.
he's okay. I'm gonna give him for the World Cup because he's won that World Cup. I'm gonna give him a 4.5.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
4.5.
What, 5 and 5?
Yeah, 5 out of 10. Wait, 5.5.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give him 5.5 out of 10. Bosh. So, podcast listeners, we've came to a bit of a stop halt because we're going to do the top 3, and there are 2 players because I don't know, I must have forgot to write down the ratings for 2 of these players. Got a joint we've got a joint third, all right, and that joint third is, drumroll please,
Ooh.
Hernandez and Rice. So I mean,
Yeah.
both very good players. Fair enough. Congratulations on getting a third. I bet you're gonna love that.
I'll take that.
Second is actually
Ooh.
Casemiro,
Way.
8.5. I'm gonna give first the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna put him in. I'm gonna put him in first, although he's also got an 8.5. But the first is
Who?
Oh, there we go. Kevin De Bruyne. Well done, mate. He's probably going to be watching this podcast with the family,
Yeah.
with the missus, with the kids, and
gonna
he's going to be
chuffing that
so
out.
proud of getting this award, mate. Well done to Kevin De Bruyne.
Another one to add to the
KDB,
trophy
if you are
cabinet.
watching this, we'll send you a personal award, mate.
Yes, we will. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, ask me questions, get involved. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel, and please follow if you're new to this Spotify podcast. Do you guys have anything you want to say?
Yes, I want to say, go in the description of the Spotify or in the comments of the YouTube. Answer the poll, please. Get involved.
Yes.
I might even put up 2 polls, maybe. Add a comment as well. You can do it in the Spotify description of the video, or you can do it in the YouTube description of the video. Questions. We need more questions, okay? Because we really enjoyed that, and I feel like we can expand on the podcast with your support.
George, is there anything you want to say?
Declan Rice, best season.
Gosh, I don't care. All right, thank you
Shut your
guys.
mouth.
No, I'm joking. Say what you want to say.
So what you want to
Say
say?
what you want to say. I'm joking, mate.
Declan Rice,
Okay.
best season in the Prem. Peace out.
Don't even do that. Don't do that. Peace
Peace
out. Okay. Actually, you know what? Before we leave, I've got to say something as well. Casemiro, best in the Prem. Peace out.
I lie.
Peace out.
See you, lads.